Sounds
And
good.
hello, everybody. My name is Karen Friend. Joining me today is Cage Reaper. We're heading into game number one of Imagine Ocean versus Taco Taco's Taco Truck, the second most fun team name to say in all of Seal, arguably the most fun team name to say in all of Seal. Can't wait for them to play against Madtown Frydown. But for right now, we're going to transition into picks and bans. Cage, do you want to take us introduce the teams?
All right, on the side of Taco Taco's Taco Truck, we have the Taco Taco in top lane. We've got Bird Turd MTS in the jungle, Icy Warrior mid, Togepi ADC, and Free the Glove on support. Across the rift on the blue side, we've got Hide My Coke in the top for Imagine Ocean, ACM 14. Reese has switched from subbing support for them to subbing mid for them with Smurb to Perb out. Nike Dragon ADC, and Dead Teddy in his proper role as support for Imagine Ocean.
Yeah, so I mean, my immediate first thought, we were able to watch and cast Imagine Ocean's first series last weekend, and we had Spurb to Perp. He had a fantastic game mid lane to set, made some really good moves there, was able to really dictate the pacing early on, and then was really able to dictate team fights with his counter engages later on. Not going to be around for this series. We'll have to see how he plays out. I mean, as you said, Reese was subbed in for them last series. He was in their support position. Now he's mid lane. We've also seen him sub in as jungler for another team. So this is his third appearance onto our stream. 100% win rate going into this. We'll see how he holds up. What are your thoughts on the team comps and everything? What the draft and all that?
Third appearance in his third different role, by the way.
Yes,
but
very true.
Notably, on the side of Imagine Ocean, they early pick their bot lane of the Galio and the Lucian. And Nike Dragon went ballistic on Lucian in the second game last series. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him go absolutely ballistic again, especially into a team comp that outside of Taco Taco and the Leona doesn't have a whole lot of way to stop him from doing a whole lot to them. Lucian, a really good pick into the likes of the Zeri, the Jhin, the Diana, having all of the tools he needs to evade their engage and their damage and still get in and close and do damage. So my person to watch this game is going to be Nike Dragon. Reese in the mid lane on the Vigar into the Zeri. Should be a pretty boring lane. The Vigar chosen into the Zeri. We'll see how that goes. In the top lane, we've got the Yone into the Malphite. I have to say the edge on that early goes to Yone, late goes to Malphite. But if Yone gets far enough ahead, it's kind of like Yasuo, where it doesn't matter if you technically beat him, you just don't beat him. In the jungle, we're finally seeing the Diana jungle coming out, but I just don't think that Taco Taco's Taco Truck has the right team comp for the Diana jungle. I think they started off really well with the Jhin Leona, but I think rounding it out with Zeri Malphite isn't quite optimal for what you want. It helps to have people going forward with you, but I think that you need a little bit more of a backline champion or a hard frontline champion. I feel like Zeri wants to be at kind of roughly the same distance as the Diana to start a fight, and that's not always in your favor. On the other side, you've got Jarvan and Yone to stack their ultis. That can be really good. You've got the classic Galio into Jarvan. You've got the Galio diving forward into a Vigar cage. And then you've got Nike on his Lucian pick. I feel like the synergies work a little bit better in the favor of Imagine Ocean. I think Taco Taco has two good half comps, but we'll see if they're able to pull it together into a cohesive comp with their Wombo combos coming out.
Right, and I think that's a good point about Taco Taco's Taco Truck. Having that sort of two half comps, their team comp divided, right? So you have the Leona, the Diana, and the Malphite that want to dive in. Then you have the Zeri and the Jhin that really want to stay back. But meanwhile, while those Leona, Diana, and Malphite are diving in, they're diving into a Galio. They're diving into a Vigar baby cage, and they're diving into a Jarvan Cataclysm. That's a lot of ways to prevent this dive from being successful onto the Lucian, onto the Yone, and onto the Vigar, who will be your 3 damage threats. Meanwhile, if like Yone is able to get onto the back line of that Jhin and Zeri, there's not a whole lot that they're going to be able to do to protect themselves. You know, Jhin is not very mobile AD carry, while Zeri is. It's a bad situation to be in if your three other characters on your team have dove off without you. So we'll have to see how that plays out for them. It's worth noting Taco Truck did not get streamed last weekend, so this was their first appearance on stream. They did go 0-2 against Spaceman Spiff last week, so we'll have to see how they perform this time around. But I'm very excited to see both of these teams in action.
Absolutely. So let's get on to the Rift and let the game speak for itself.
All right, we'll see you all shortly. We are live. So we see right out the gate, standard 5-point looks like from Taco Truck. Well, Imagine Ocean a little bit slow out of the gate. You know, they're kind of filtering out there.
A little bit of brain lag on Imagine Ocean. Couldn't figure out how to leave a fountain for a second. But importantly, neither team looking to do anything particularly cheese. A bit of a missed opportunity from the Taco Truck here. I feel like with the Jhin Leona, you have a really good opportunity to get a pick off, but I can understand wanting to be a little bit cautious and not wanting to check into an early game Lucian.
So something we didn't really talk about much, the pre-game. What lane matchups are you excited for? What player matchups are you excited for? Who do we think is going to really dictate things?
I think in the bot lane you have a very explosive matchup. I think both teams want to trade early and trade hard. I think that the Galio and the Leona kind of do the same thing in a little bit of a different way. And it's going to be interesting to see Dead Teddy in his debut Seal match and find out how this Galio pick works for him. I think that there's an opportunity for Imagine Ocean to just outright win based off of their bot lane if Dead Teddy can land a good taunt onto the Jhin and Leona off of a Leona engage. And so I think the onus is on the bot lane of Taco's Taco Truck to make their engages happen and trade in a way that gets them to the point where they can win a fight without Nike Dragon and Dead Teddy running them over.
Yeah, that's very fair. I mean, it's worth noting last time we watched Hide My Coke, had a very good game on Yasuo against the Graves. You know, a bit of a slow early game as Graves was really able to bully him, but he knew how to play the lane. He played it very safe, didn't give over any kills, stayed pretty well up in CS, and was able to come in the mid and late game. So here in this Malphite matchup, we'll have to see how he holds on. Right now, he's trading a bit with Taco. Going pretty even, nothing really to note there at the moment, but I think there's good opportunity to see him coming in. He likes these very mechanical top laners so far. We've seen him on Riven, I believe it was, in game 1. He was on Yasuo game 2. Now he's on to Yone in game 3 here. So excited to watch how he plays.
And notably, the Vayne and the Riven both banned away. Big champions for Imagine Ocean in the last game.
Well, ACM 14 doing a bit of a counter for jungling. He's looking to pick up that kill. He does have his red buff, but it's not quite able to slow it down and put enough of a burn down on the Diana, who is able to get out. Hide My Coke is looking to dive Taco. Lots of damage coming out. Is able to get the first blood as he gets away from the tower.
That's rough for Taco. Trying to go support his jungler who got invaded. A really aggressive path by the Jarvan there, recognizing that Diana's not as strong at level 3. And it manages to pick up a kill for his top laner through a bit of a unfortunate roam by Taco.
Yeah, very unfortunate situation to be in. It's interesting that, Taco's Taco Truck decided to leave both the Jarvan and the Lucian up for Imagine Ocean. We saw them play them both in game 2 of their first series on stream. And they both did phenomenal performances. So it's a bit interesting to see what they were kind of thinking going into this. Maybe they thought they could handle it. We'll see how it plays out.
Almost feels like they only watched game 1 of the series because they banned problem champions from game 1, but not from game 2. Also, notably, Taco eating a lot of bans in this game.
ACM 14 coming in to make a play happen top lane. Taco does smartly backstep it. ACM 14 takes a bit of a damage from the tower, and they are both able to walk out of there. I see Warrior,
really
meanwhile, bullying Racy in the mid lane.
Really good sidestep from Taco there to dodge the flag and drag. And like I was touching on a little bit earlier, in the pick and ban phase, Taco actually ate 4 bans. The Trundle ban is a ban against Taco. He plays Trundle in the top lane. And so in the first rotation, he ate a set ban and a Poppy ban, which are arguably his 2 champions that he's most known for in Seal. But in the second rotation, he eats a ban of Kled and Trundle. And so while Taco's Taco Truck saved counterpick for Taco, for his top 4 champions off the board, dropping him onto this Malphite, which, while a good champion for him, and he performs well on it when he plays it, isn't one of his top influential champions.
All right, and I think that's smart scouting from the side of Imagine Ocean to recognize that. Taco is a very strong, very influential player when he gets off, and he's arguably the best on his team, ranking somewhere in the low to mid plats right now, whereas the rest of his team is mostly comprised of like low to mid golds. So recognizing that he is a big threat and then neutralizing him because he doesn't have a huge champion pool that he's known for, that's a very well played, very well smart draft decision out of Imagine Ocean. But meanwhile, we have a big fight going on in the bot lane. Dead Teddy did try to engage that, is able to pick up Feel the Glove as he does try to flash away, is not enough to get out of there though.
Yeah, that's the difficulty with that Leona pick into the Galio, right? It's like when you pick Leona into a Braum. It's really difficult for the Leona to go back out afterwards. And a little bit of misuse of draft resource on Taco's side, if you ask me. Now, maybe they thought the Galio was a mid-pick for sure. I'm not sure. But if you had a suspicion that the Galio was going support, I would have preferred to see them pick something that disengaged and tried to dodge out or deny the Galio engage rather than
big potential for a 2v2 in the top lane right now as Hide My Coat does get engaged on. He does have ult to turn it back around. Meanwhile, ACM14 is arrived. He does trade the damage back over to Diana. They are able to take her down as Taco has to walk out of there. Reese, meanwhile, trading back and forth with Icy Warrior, putting down some damage, but that is Zoe really bullying the Veigar in the mid lane.
Zeri, one of the strongest champions in the game right now, a bit of a problem in a lot of different stages of the game, and super mobile as well. Can be played in basically every lane right now, and especially against a champion like Veigar, who wants to be able to walk up on you, wants to be able to trade with you.
Veigar looking to bait this out, a bit too obvious. I think the mid lane there stepping up like that. I think knows something is up, doesn't want to go in on him.
Yeah, Icy Warrior, a more cerebral player and a better player than rank indicates. Somebody who I know...
Oh, flashes forward, is trying to get there. He does pick up the kill, but ACM14 is here. Is looking like he's just going to get kited as he has to head back to his tower to get out of there. Well played by Icy Warrior, as you said. Real cerebral player. Very smart to recognize the opportunity.
Yeah, I didn't even finish getting my compliments of Icy Warrior off before making a great play there. Icy Warrior is the kind of player who doesn't play enough ranked to have their rank reflect their actual skill, and notably had to take a break from the game due to internet issues for a while. Good to see them back and popping off. I think that if you were to watch them and if they play enough ranked this season, they'll probably land higher in ranked than they have historically. But they like a lot of odd off-meta picks in the mid lane, making them really difficult to plan against and to scout against when you're trying to prepare.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I know when I was looking at, both these teams before the game start, Icy Warrior ranked 300 or level 360 or so, but all in all, his most played champions each season for the last few seasons was at 15, 20-ish games per season. So as you said, not somebody who plays a lot of range. It's going to definitely be difficult to scout him out.
Also, I think we see it in the next game, but a couple of really odd off-meta picks that he likes to run that really nobody else I've ever seen play a whole lot of. And in the mid lane especially, that can lead to some really odd dynamics. We watched it just this weekend in the C9 games where...
good sidestep from Icy Warrior. Does get caught out by the Jarvan Cataclysm as the Reese does come on up to secure the kill.
Yeah, notably in LCS where Fudge picked up the Soraka and the Ivern mid, champions that we had seen mid but only briefly in the past. And people really don't know what to do when you pick these mid lane, these champions mid lane that maybe don't really want to fight.
Yep, Leona going in onto the Galio as they do get the taunt. They turn around a lot of the damage. Leona ult doesn't land on anybody. Meanwhile, Nike Dragon has the call and putting a lot of damage down onto Togepi, who does have to flash away.
Yeah, and that bot lane matchup really starting to show you why picking the Leona into the Galio is a bit of a problem, right? You struggle at all stages of the game. You're not really going to have a good opportunity to get in. And if you think you do have a good opportunity to get in, you're actually engaging onto a Galio who's going to be able to land all of his damage on you and soften you up just right for Nike Dragon to be able to shut you down before the Jin's even able to get through a full rotation of 4 shots.
Yeah. Free tower play does go over to the Lucian, is able to secure that extra gold on top of his 2 kills right now.
And with the 4-kill lead in favor of Imagine Ocean right now, about a 2,500 gold lead. A lot of that gold right now in the pockets of Nike Dragon and Hide My Coke ahead of their laners respectively, while the rest of the map is pretty even. And Taco really the victim of heavy bans and heavy attention as Imagine Ocean recognizes that shutting him down is probably their way to victory.
Bidturd in a bad spot right now as we do have the 3-man collapse on him. Does have to flash out of there. Malphite also teleported in a bit too late, though. Everybody had already disengaged at that point. Yep.
Well, with the dragon up, they might be looking for this counter engage here. Unfortunately for him, Taco steps onto a ward as it's expiring.
Yeah, if they do see him right there, ACM 14 is sitting there on the side. I don't think either team really wants this. Oh, nope, they are taking the opportunity. Galio coming on in right now, does get the double knock-up onto him, but meanwhile, they are kind of disengaging. Maybe not. Dead Teddy kind of takes the opportunity to go in. Anyways, Malphite goes back in to re-engage. Icy Warrior trading over a lot of damage here. They do pick up the 2 kills right now. So far, it is just Icy Warrior versus Reese, who both of them are real low. One ability either way gets the kill, and Icy Warrior picks it up with the auto attack.
Really good play by Icy Warrior and Taco to turn that around and pick up 3 kills for the team. Unfortunately for them, Hide My Coke in the top lane, just knocking down turret plates up here, able to pick up a kill or 2 of turret plates in the trade.
Oh yes, Pink Ward coming out is looking to try and make a play. He knows he can't get out of here, so his best opportunity is to try and trade over a kill for a kill. Has to burn Flash, is getting out of there, taking some burn, but they might be able to pick him up as he just runs for his life. Using that alcove cover, trying to get that shield going, not enough. Diana picks up the kill while Malphite knows to stay back. Meanwhile, bot lane, Nike Dragon does burn both flashes from his opposing bot lane. Or sorry, the Leona's flash, but the heal from Togepi.
Really good cross-map play by Taco to teleport to the mid lane. A little bit of a misfire on trying to get that initial play off, but manages to turn a triple kill for Azeri in the mid lane, then goes top lane with a backup from Birdturd and manages to pick up the shutdown onto the Yone. While the Malphite's still about 1,000 gold behind and the Dragon does go over to Imagine Ocean for their early pressure, Taco's Taco Truck back at even gold in this game right now, with a lot of it on that hyper carry in Zeri and the other hyper carry in the Diana.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was definitely a big misplay out of Imagine Ocean. Really tried to overstay and tried to force something a bit too hard, so we saw them get penalized there. But I mean, it was a beautiful play by Icy Warrior and Taco to turn that 3v2 into a triple kill. Herald, was dropped bot lane, did get some tower plates, but tower's still standing.
A little bit of that early objective control turning into gold in the pockets of Imagine Ocean, giving them at least a little bit of a lead back, about 500-600 gold right now, and the Dragon, but Jarvan looking like he might try to make a play onto this vulnerable bot lane again.
Yep, there he comes. Knockup wasn't quite able to get anybody, but Cataclysm does have the Leona locked in there. She is now taunted. She's going to be kept there and killed, donated over to Nike Dragon. Meanwhile, top lane, though, Reese has arrived. He does have that Predator, is able to lock him down as they do secure the kill for the Yone.
That's a really unfortunate cross-map situation for Taco Taco's Taco Truck, with the mid lane leaving to one side, the Jarvan leaving to the other, and they're able to get a 3v2 advantage in the bot lane and a 2v1 advantage in the top lane. Both plays turn out in their favor, with the Cataclysm trapping the Leona. Really good play by ACM14 after missing the flash flag and drag onto the Jhin. Togepi able to sidestep. Leona actually looks like she's going to land her Zenith Blade to get out.
Racy kind of stepping forward a bit too aggressively. Dead Teddy is here, though, to help him out. They are trading on over the lockdown. Zeri has to flash away, is trying to cut it out and put more damage out where she can, but nobody's going to drop there.
Anyway, the ulti comes through from the Jarvan to dodge the E from Leona and lock her in to secure that kill. Really good play by Icy Warrior in the mid lane there to survive the 2v1 in the mid lane.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been fairly active game. Leona looking for this pick onto Lucian, locks him down, but doesn't really have anybody to support him. Jhin is a bit too far out. No W coming out of him.
Yeah, you have to wonder a little bit if that was overly passive play by the bot lane there of Taco Taco's Taco Truck. The minute that E lands from the Leona, you've got to land that root as the Jhin. The Q comes through, the ulti comes through. You very well might have been able to pick that, but TP coming through bot.
Yeah, we have a big play coming out of Reese, possibly. Galio is coming in, does knock up the Leona. Meanwhile, Nike Dragon soloing down his opposing AD carry of Togepi. Able to get that good burst damage down while Leona was too busy. Couldn't really come in to help him out.
See, and that's a perfect example of where the Vigar cage is a problem, the Galio ulti gets you distance, and if you're the side of Taco Taco's Taco Truck, you just have to pull the trigger when you have the opportunity.
Yeah, Nike Dragon trying to help his support Dead Teddy get out of here. They do trade back a lot of damage on the Free the Glove. Flashes forward. There is the Galio Q able to secure the kill. You know, Nike Dragon real smart on that play, keeping his distance. He knows he's low HP. Meanwhile, though, Hidemeko does come in on the Diana from behind. He does Q forward. There's the ultimate. Zonya's to avoid it. Has to get on out, but meanwhile, Nike Dragon with the assistance by Dead Teddy landing that taunt, able to pick it up. Top lane, we have more actions. ACM14 picked a fight with the Icy Warrior. Realized it wasn't quite the fight he was looking for. Reese trying to lock him down. Damage being traded on over. Reese has to wait for his cooldowns to go back, and he does get the kill onto Icy Warrior.
Notably, that's one of the downsides to the Zeri pick, right? Is that every auto attack from Zeri is a skill shot. And if that skill shot lands, Icy Warrior's deleted. Unfortunately, skill shot goes a little bit wide, and Icy Warrior doesn't manage to pick up the kill onto Reese and then eats the Vigar Q, securing his doom. But we're really seeing more and more in that bot lane how the Leona pick into the Galio is just really not a good situation for the Leona. Time and time again, the Galio is able to close and punish the Leona for any aggressive maneuver the Leona tries to make.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, well, we have a bit of a lull. I'm just kind of looking at the gold differential here. I mean, we have about a 4K gold lead in favor of Imagine Ocean at the moment. About 2.5 of which is on the top lane differential there. Hide My Coke, 2,500 gold or so ahead of Taco Taco. That is a significant lead to have at the moment.
And the other 3,000 gold coming out of the bot lane with a 1,500 gold lead on the Galio and a 2,000 gold lead on the Lucian. And for me, while both gold leads are valuable and important, I have to feel like the lead on the...
Taco Taco seizing the opportunity on Reese, a bit out of position, all on his lonesome. Meanwhile, though, we have an explosive fight down in the box by the Dragon as Bird Turd got caught out himself in a bit of a 1v4 situation. They
really unfortunate there is Free My Glove walks away from the catch onto Reese. Not entirely sure why.
Leona all going down onto Nike Dragon is trading damage back. They do pick up the Leona kill. They also secured the Dragon while they're doing a Galio all coming on out, able to keep ACM14 alive a bit longer with that damage reduction. Icy Warrior trying to cut it back, you know, has all that extra move speed, but not quite enough. Dashes forward. Bit of a misplay there. I don't think that was intentional. Is able to get secured.
Really unfortunate miscommunications on the side of Taco Taco's Taco Truck as Free the Glove walks away from the Vigar, allowing the ulti to come through and to finish off Taco. And on the other side, Bird Turd goes in solo, gets blown up. Taco Taco's Taco Truck looking really reliable for the first part of the game, particularly their top lane synergy, but the bot lane really just not clicking with the rest of the team right now.
And right now, Zeri, 4-3-2 is pretty much the one hope for Taco Truck at the moment. The only one with a positive KDA.
And looking back at our previous conversation about gold splits, the Yon almost 3,000 gold ahead right now, but in the bot lane, almost 4,000 or 5,000 gold for the bot lane of Imagine Ocean over Taco's Taco Truck. And to me, the bot lane lead is much more important and impactful because to get the Yon to this point has required a lot of spoon feeding. There's been a lot of attention paid to this top lane, whereas the bot lane has just been outright winning 2v2s and 2v3s when the Diana shows up.
Yeah, but I think Nike Dragon is definitely carving out a name for himself here in Piltover as somebody who really needs to be respected.
Yeah, you can't let the Lucian through. I don't quite understand the Vayne ban. I feel like we talked about this last time where, yeah, the Vayne came online late game, but it wasn't the Vayne that cost them that game early. The Vayne was put behind, unless you just don't want to deal with the late game pressure from the Vayne, but Nike Dragon's Lucian is just demolishing people. This is the second game in a row we've watched where he is borderline 1v9, highest gold in the game on the champion right now, and Lucian doesn't fall off the way he used to. Once upon a time, at 25 minutes, Lucian was a worthless champion, but with the way that Riot has changed the ADC role to not be a viable role outside of
Dead Teddy, a 1v5 is in a bit of a bad situation, is locked down, goes back in, knows he can't get out of there. Taunt going down and survives a good long while considering 1v5. But yeah, he is brought out. Meanwhile, we do have a current call coming down onto Reese, trying to catch him out. He's real low, able to get out of the current call. Togepi, yep, getting caught up by Hide My Coke. Reese, I don't think is going to be able to survive it. Good damage is being traded on Taco, but does drop. They end up trading the ADC for the mid lane. Culling comes on out, puts some distance there, is afraid the glove, a little bit out of position for the rest of his team. Yep, just going to take the long way back home.
Good play by Hide My Coke there to pick up Togepi and manage to trade something back for his team. On the flip side, really good play by Taco's Taco Truck to take the one kill onto Dead Teddy and immediately accelerate it into a second kill onto Reese.
Yeah, absolutely well played. Right now, teams are resetting for the time being, clearing out a bit of their opposing team's jungle, ACM 14, trying to deny what resources they can. Gold lead has widened to about 7k or so.
Yeah, even knowing that the Zeri scales, you gotta start worrying right now for Taco's Taco Truck. Diana scales well, but you can't afford to get this far behind the pace of the game on the champion.
Dead Teddy really aggressive right there, just walking up to set it down the vision anyways. Doesn't care that Leona is there.
Reese on this Vigar, the champion's behind, Reese's behind on it, but the threat of a Predator baby cage is really hard to ignore. It can be one of those things, Vigar being one of those champions where even when you're behind and you're not playing that well, one good baby cage can turn a game in ways that really can't be matched by a lot of other champions.
Yeah, but right now, looking at the team positioning right now, we have a bit of a 4-1 split in favor of Imagine Ocean, as they do have the Yone looking to split push. They're grouping a bit now with the Dragon spawning in 13 seconds. So, yep, Scuttle has been secured for Imagine Ocean. We'll have to see how this fight plays out as both teams are positioning, getting ready for it. Good damage being traded over to Taco, kind of soften him up a little bit before he goes in. Yep, there's the pick onto Reese. Does get locked up. Galio wall does come in. He is able to survive. ACM 14 has to back off a little bit. Meanwhile, Hide My Coke going into the back line immediately gets back out. Bird Turd sitting there in the bush looking for this pick. Not quite able to find what he's looking for as he does get locked up. Zonia's going back out. Leona ult lands onto Nike Dragon, but nobody's there to follow up, so he's still there. He's putting out damage. Free the glove is brought down. Meanwhile, Yone looking to chase after them. Not able to get it, but Nike Dragon doesn't care. Flashes forward, secures the kill for the ace.
With the Rift Herald pushing and the third dragon falling, this game and the 10,000 gold lead, This game has to feel pretty over for Taco Taco's Taco Truck. It looked like they might have had a chance into that fight, but they couldn't quite manage to get the Diana into the fight, and they wind up losing everyone for nothing. And that kind of felt like the last hurrah. They might last a little bit longer in this game, but you have to imagine that they're looking to make some changes going into the next game.
Yeah, Lucian was able to get that Herald all the way into charging onto a Nexus tower, took out the mid inhib. Meanwhile, the rest of his team securing the Baron for him. So yeah, I mean, it is looking grim for Taco Taco's Taco Truck, but we've seen before in Steel, you can never quite count any team out.
You know, that's absolutely true, and under normal circumstances, I would agree with you. But looking at a 10,000 gold lead, and with scaling pretty even across the two teams, I have to feel like if you're on Taco Taco's team right now, you're saying, all right, we'll try to hold this one out, but we got to figure out what we need to change for the next game. And let me tell you, I think it starts with Lucian. You cannot let this champion fall into Nike Dragon's hands again.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Like, we saw it last time. We're seeing it again here. His Lucian, absolutely insane. He knows that champ very well and has been able to not only find opportunities to make kills and make picks, but create those opportunities himself.
Yeah, it's been really impressive watching how well he plays the champion. He understands how to play on the edge of where to be effective and where to hide. And
Dead Teddy looking for this pick onto Diana. Combo goes out, but his team not quite able to follow up as they do manage to stun Leona, throw down a bit of damage, and they do steal that red. Posing to get this top tier 2 tower. Meanwhile, Yone is looking to split against that Jhin. We do have a taunt coming out from the Galio. They are able to pick up the 1 kill. Zonius comes out. They just wait it out. They pick up the 2nd kill. There's the Viger kill onto the Malphite up at the top. Meanwhile, Yone has come in. He is looking to get that damage onto the Zeri. Not quite able to do it. She is kiting what she can. Jhin is finally on his way on up. Curtain Call does come out. Damage is going to be traded over with what he can do, but it's not going to be enough to secure any kills. Looks like they do have the Baron. They are going to keep on pushing this.
I gotta say, I think that
Yone dive in behind the wall. Nope, but they do lock up the Zeri with the baby cage, and they seize that opportunity to get rid of Icy Warrior.
Well, that's got to be the game. The Zeri was the last thing keeping the Taco Truck in it. I gotta think, though, the TP from Hide My Coke a little bit unnecessary. You gotta figure if it's 1v1, the Yone against the Jhin in bot lane, that Yone should be able to just push through that bot lane while everything else is going on top.
Yeah.
But
ACM 14's KDA is saved with that last second inhib takedown. And that will be game number 1 for Imagine Ocean.
really dominant game from Imagine Ocean. A little bit of stumble on the top side of the map in the mid game, but overall, really good plays, coordinating 2 and 3 top regularly to knock down Taco Taco. They spend 4 bans on him and then chain gank him up in the top lane. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Nike Dragon and Dead Teddy absolutely demolish Togepi and Free the Glove, really showing how Imagine Ocean won this draft pretty hard the minute that they took the Galio Lucian into the Jhin Leon.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it was definitely a bad matchup in the bot lane. We'll have to see how they recover from it and how they decide that they want to change up their picks and bans. I mean, I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing that Lucian ban coming out from them, but we'll have to see what they end up going with.
Absolutely. I think the Taco Truck can reflect a little bit on what happened and how they played, and I think I want to see the Vayne ban dropped for the Lucian ban. The Riven ban I think is important. The Janna ban I'm not entirely sure about, but I'll be interested to see what the Taco Truck does moving forward into the next game to try to make some changes. As far as my ace for the game, it's got to go to Icy Warrior. On that Zeri, absolutely trying to keep his team in the game, tooth and nail fighting, doing everything he can, but just not able to get online and do enough fast enough.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you can give an honorable mention over to Taco Taco. He ate 4 bans for his team, and was still able to do fairly decent. I think he had some questionable ults later on, trying to make picks onto the Vigar out of position, but they weren't able to translate that into anything. Vigar was usually able to get out just fine. So, I mean, honorable mention to Taco Taco, but yeah, I fully agree. Give Icy Warrior the ace. My MVP pick goes, I have to say, Nike Dragon. He got lotion. He popped off. We saw, what was the end score? 8-0 and 9, I think it was. Like, he was making opportunities. He was finding solo kills. He was forcing team fights. And he was playing right on the knife's edge of too close, but close enough that he could still put out damage. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Hide My Coke had a great game, but a lot of it felt like spoon-fed and then side-laning on Yone. ACM 14 proving that his Jarvan is very clean and dominant once again. Reese, a little bit of a rough game on the Vigar, but able to control space in a way that only Vigar can. Nike Dragon demolishing people on the Lucian, and Dead Teddy playing himself into kind of a honorable mention for me. The Galio doing absolute work throughout the map and really neutralizing the early game, allowing Nike Dragon the space that he needed to pop off. But yeah, absolutely. Nike Dragon is my MVP for game 1, and I don't think it's even close, even with Dead Teddy making a good case for second place.
Yeah, absolutely. Alrighty, well, we're going to take a quick break here, and we'll be right back with game number 2 of Imagine Ocean versus Taco Taco's Taco Truck. See you soon. And welcome back, everybody. We are here with game number 2 of Imagine Ocean versus Taco Taco's Taco Truck. I'm your play-by-play caster, Karen France. Joining me today is Cage Reaper. Cage, you want to bring us into the picks and bans of these 2 games?
All right. So the first game we saw a ban against the Riven against Hide by Coke. They've dropped it in favor of the Yone. Now, Karen and I disagree a little bit with this. We think the Lucian was a bigger priority to ban. However, in banning the Yone, the Lucian doesn't get picked. So maybe Taco Taco's Taco Truck with some magic secret tech we don't quite understand. The Jarvan does get the axe in the second rotation, preventing ACM 14 from doing that again. But it looks like he falls back onto the Hecarim, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that the other champion that he played the first time around?
No, he played Sejuani in game number 1.
Oh, okay. Well, the Sejuani denied also, but he does pick the Hecarim before that, importantly. So I suppose that's not quite as important. But Reese is switching over to the Casio. The Vigar does get banned. Despite the fact that it wasn't a great game for Reese, Taco Taco's Taco Truck saying that that baby cage just controls too much space even when the champion is not doing the damage that's entirely necessary. And Hide My Coke on the Riven, that is his preference. Nike Dragon onto the Samira, which I I think has potential to be really problematic for Taco Taco's Taco Truck. Looking at the ways to set up the extra Samira stun of the Hecarim and the Riven and the Rakan and the ulti from the Casio, a couple of really big Samira ults could be game turning in the late game. On the other side, we've got a switch between Taco Taco and Togepi. Togepi going top on the Mordekaiser. Not entirely sure what the plan was there, but knowing that Taco ate a bunch of bans last time, I think attempting to get him out of the top lane and onto a champion they feel like he can be a little bit more useful on. Taco on the Draven, one of the only ADCs that he plays. It is a champion that he plays fairly regularly in the bot lane. But the most interesting thing of Taco Taco's team is Icy Warrior on the patented Sedge mid. I have not seen this run outside of by him, but in the past when I've seen him play it, it's been surprisingly effective.
Yep, I've been trying to remember where I knew Icy Warrior from. Since I was looking at these two teams earlier today, and as soon as you pointed out Sejuani mid, it clicked on me instantly. I knew this guy, I knew his Sedge mid, and oh my god, is it something to be feared? Like, I'm so excited to watch it in this game and be able to cast for this match. I have no idea how it's going to play into that matchup against the Cassiopeia, but it'll be entertaining nonetheless.
You thought Ivern and Soraka mid were fun to watch? Just wait. We got a banger for you here. And he's got great setup for the Sedge stuns with Vi with her resets, the Mordekaiser top, and the Leona that can almost instantly proc the Sedge stun with her own stun combo. It's going to be a really good game for Icy Warrior to demonstrate the power of this pick.
Yeah, so, I mean, looking at both two teams, their drafts overall, who do you think won the draft phase? Who has the better comp, and what do you think is going to come out of it?
I think that this is a difficult one to call. I think that the top lane is kind of a toss-up. I think that Riven's supposed to win it if playing it well. I think that Hide My Coke got their primary champion, which means that they probably win that lane if it's a skill matchup or even. In the jungle, the Hecarim versus Vi matchup, I think Vi's a little bit stronger, but Hecarim has better map pressure and has the ability to impact the game a little bit more early. So that could go either way. In mid lane, I have no idea. My suspicion is that Icy Warrior wins this based on the fact that there is a lot more damage in Sedge's kit than people give it credit for. Cassio's a little bit squishier than she seems, and if the Sejuani engages with the Q, she's able to stick to a Cassio better than maybe not. I'm not entirely sure. In the bot lane, I think that the edge has to go to Taco Taco and the Leona over Dead Teddy and Nike Dragon, but if Nike Dragon blocks the knockback from Draven, it could be anybody's game. And we've seen Nike Dragon play these matchups really well, even losing early game to become a late game force of nature. And I think that that's where this Samira pick could really come online, is in the mid to late game with some ultis that'll absolutely shred some team comps.
You have to agree with that. I mean, you touched on the top lane matchup, the Mordekaiser versus the Riven. I think it definitely goes in favor of the Riven. She's very mobile, able to dodge the Mordekaiser Q and E, and she is able to... There's a lot of room for outplay there in the Riven, and it really comes down to the skill level of the Riven to win that lane. We do know Hide My Coke is a Riven player. He does have very strong opportunity to do this, so it's interesting to see the Mordekaiser counterpick the Riven. But yeah, I mean, we'll just have to see how it goes. And as I said, the mid lane is such a toss-up. Who knows what's going to go on there? I'm just excited to watch it. So are we ready to go and watch it then?
I think so. Let's get going.
Alrighty, we'll see you all back very shortly. Live. So, slow start from both teams. Nobody's really rushing to leave that fountain here. Alright, looks like a standard 5-point. Probably for the best since nobody was really in a good spot coming out at 15 seconds.
Yeah, neither team with a really strong engage. The Riven level 1 can be kind of good. If you took the engage on the Rakan, it could be kind of good. Sedge's level 1 is slept on. Leona generally wants to start E, not Q, and so unless you're gonna flash Leona Q somebody into a Sedge E, I don't see a good engage from either team without sacrificing their early lane presence. Then again, I don't know. Maybe the Sedge mid starts a different skill, not the E. I could see where you might want to start your W on Sedge for lane pressure, but we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, as I said before, I'm just so curious to see how it comes out. I mean, right now, while we have a bit of a lull, what are we looking at? Who are we watching this game? What lanes, what matchups? Who's going to be making the big plays?
I think we have to watch this mid lane matchup, right? This is a bizarre matchup. You have to imagine that there's a little bit of an edge in the matchup going over to Icy Warrior, just being more familiar with the matchup. He plays Sedge mid, and nobody really has experience playing into Sedge mid. So he's played against a Cassio before. But has Reese or a Cassio played into a Sedge mid? I don't think so. And I think that we've got opportunity for that to be really explosive. On the other side, I think you have to look into the switch that Taco's Taco Truck decided to make, sending Taco into the ADC role, and think that has to be the other lane that they're hoping to win with that change.
Yeah, Hide by Coke putting down some good damage, traded back onto Togepi. Good opportunity. There's a lot of kill pressure in that lane right now with him being so low. I mean, they both have flash. Both pots were burned on Togepi, as well as 2 more pots for Riven as well. But she still has 1 more in the pocket.
That's another good point that you make, is that in the top lane, they did give Hide My Coke his favorite champion. And so there's a certain argument that maybe that's a worse problem than the other advantages we've been talking about. Maybe this is a game for Hide My Coke to really pop off and demonstrate why that's the champion.
Togepi giving him a free engage with his own E, able to put down a lot of damage and stun him up. That's another issue with that Riven lane into the Mordekaiser. Like, Mordekaiser brings that Riven into him, and that's just free engage for her.
Yeah, that's just an unfortunate laning situation there. Notably, Taco's Taco Truck picked the Mordekaiser into the Riven. So they thought they saw something there that makes it not as bad of a lane as it might otherwise be. It'll be up to us to wait and see if that actually works out. Another thing we didn't talk about,
we have a invade going on right now here in the jungle. Hecarim going in, taking the blast, going over onto Bird, has to flash forward to stop the Q from getting away. Flash is traded back on over, and Bird Turd is able to survive. Sejuani coming on over, does have her dash. Mordekaiser is also collapsing. A lot of fights going down bot lane as well, as we're seeing that happen. But it looks like that fight up by the jungle, they are able to get away. Train some over onto the Mordekaiser. Togepi taking up a lot of damage. He does come back to bring them back forward. 2 people are very low, but Sejuani is able to secure the first blood. Riven is locked up. Reese finally arrives, able to trade the kill on over. Behind My Coke is brought down for a Sejuani double kill. They are trying to finish off Togepi, see if Reese can trade 1 for 1. It might not happen. It might happen. It does happen. Sejuani does come in for the 3rd kill. That's a triple kill for the mid lane Sejuani at 4 minutes in.
So, importantly for Reese did manage to pick up 2 kills there. It's not completely doomed, but a huge fight coming out for Taco's Taco Truck.
Draven is called out on his own. Free the glove, went to go ward. Immediately Dead Teddy picked the opportunity to put some good damage down on Taco, who has run himself out of mana at this point.
Immediately massive for the Sedge. Unfortunately, they do get that trade kill back for Reese for Taco Truck, making it so that the Sedge is not just obscenely ahead in this game. Also worth noting, something we didn't talk about well before, Vi clears decently, but Hecarim, one of the best clearing junglers in the game right now, it should be able to, as long as jungle state stays neutral, outfarm the Vi to a point where the lead is huge.
Yeah, definitely a good point right now. I mean, we've seen him use that opportunity to try and invade already, putting that pressure on Vi, trying to put her onto the back foot. Fortunately, rest of his team was able to collapse, and we saw what came out of all of that. Big trades for the mid laners. So, I mean, right now, so far, Icy Warrior taking that engage onto Reese, looking to lock him up. Vi comes in, Q not quite able to connect, but it doesn't really matter because damage is traded over. Tower does take its shots, does pick up the counter kill back on the bird turret.
So at a certain point, these kills aren't working in favor of Taco's Taco Truck.
Yep. Icy Warrior really putting these base damage down onto him. Meanwhile, top lane, Hamako dodging the Mordekaiser Q, really dashing around him right now, trading that damage back.
The Sejuani pick works so well, in my opinion, because it doesn't give much back to the enemy champion.
Right. Ooh, Hamako going in on Togepi, looking to trade a lot of damage back, waiting for these cooldowns to come back off so that he can re-engage on there. Meanwhile, Vi is coming on up to see and help Togepi. This might go in favor. This has a lot of opportunity to get traded right on back. Looks like it might. One more auto, and there it is. 1-for-1. Bird Turd picking up that counter kill back onto Hamako.
Really good pathing by Bertrand there to realize that that Togepi was in a bit of trouble and to pick up the kill on the Hide My Coke. Unfortunately, probably should have pushed in the wave right here because Hide My Coke's going to TP back to this and hold the turret. Yeah, really bad spot for Togepi to be stuck with the lane frozen out into the ribbon. A little bit of a misplay by the Vi not to push that wave there. But what I was saying earlier is, unfortunately for Icy Warrior, these continued trading kills back and forth with the Cassio, even picking up the Cassio kill and getting the lead yourself, the advantage of the Sejuani pick isn't necessarily that you outscale or outtrade, it's that you're able to passively win lane and stay ahead and do your job without giving a bunch of gold over to the enemy carry. And so the fact that this Cassio is 3-2 right now, and even though about 1,000 gold behind the Sedge, is really not ideal for what you want from this pick.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this Sedge mid pick is still such an interesting choice. And we're seeing it's building tank at the moment. Do you know, does it go full tank? Or is there a mixture of AP in there? Like, how exactly does that build pathing look?
So I think that you can alter it depending on the way that your lane goes. The fact that that Icy hasn't already picked up a tier means that you're not going to see the Fimbulwinter come out. But I think that there is opportunity to go for...
in a bit of a bad situation right here. Sejuani has arrived. There's the ult coming out of the Vi to lock her up. Meanwhile, Sejuani comes on in. They do lock it up, and the kill is picked up by Sejuani. 5-0 right now on that champion. Icy Warrior picking up big.
So notably, you don't need to build any damage on Sedge to deal a significant amount of damage for the bulk of the game. At a certain point, you do fall off, and your only real damage comes from dealing damage to objectives.
Trading some damage over. Hecarim engaged, though, does have to flash away. Free the Glove a little bit slow on that regard. Ended up taking a bit too much damage. Is brought down. Deadly stays alive thanks to the heal from Nike Dragon.
Really unfortunate for Free the Glove there. Good play to try to keep the Rakan under turret, but Dead Teddy manages to walk away. A little bit of selfless play by Nike Dragon to keep the support alive.
Yeah, right now Taco low on mana, still trying to hold that tower. He doesn't realize that there's a Cassiopeia right behind him. Racy is here. He knows the situation that he's in. Teleport coming in. There's Rakan ult. Does taunt up the Draven, but he's going to go down. Meanwhile, here's the Vi able to lock up Reese and finish him off. Togepi looking to see if he can do anything further. Probably not. They're probably going to get out of there, and it looks like they do.
Good play by the Sedge to get down there. A little bit of a misplay, I think, by Togepi, trying to pull at the ADCs instead of the Cassiopeia.
Oh, Icy Warrior flashing forward, locking up this Hecarim. He's trying to get away. His E has worn out already. I don't know. She doesn't have ult. Riven is here. 2v1. Bit of a difficult situation to be in. She's trying to trade over what damage she can, but she's locked up, not able to do anything. The kill does go over to Hecarim. Herald, meanwhile, dropped bot lane. Good idea by Bird Turn. Recognizing jungler is not down there to contest. Bot lane is not down there to contest. Get that free tower damage, free plates.
So that's part of the problem we're talking about earlier with that Sedge pick, right? You're up 5-0, but you're not up quite far enough to be able to actually solo the enemy jungler or 2v1 the way that you would want to into a Riven and a Hecarim jungle that really aren't in a position
Bird Turn
to be
making
fighting.
a big play onto the Samira. Does catch her out with the ultimate. Draven damage is enough to help finish her off as the kill does get secured by Bird Turn. Unfortunately, kind of a difficult situation. I mean, you really want to be spoon-feeded in your Draven as much as you possibly can. Really help him get going with his passive stacks. And unless he's able to really cash in on that, it's going to be hard for him to come into this game later on.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the Draven falling down a couple minutes ago means that he's only sitting at about 60 stacks of Adoration right now, which, while a big cash-in, isn't quite enough to be the huge cash-in that you were hoping for earlier. And with the kills going over onto the jungler and mid laner, it's getting harder and harder for this Draven to catch up to where the Samira is gold-wise.
Yeah, absolutely. Meanwhile, we do have another engage by ACM14 coming in here onto Icy Warrior. Does dash away, looking to try to get out of there. Meanwhile, Hide My Coke is looking to get this kill onto the Mordekaiser, and he is able to secure it pretty handily. Icy Warrior looking to get out of there, but he's in the opposing jungle right now. I'm not sure if they're going to chase it all the way or if they're just going to let it go. I don't think they really know where he is. Yep, he's looking to recall.
The Draven ulti thrown for Vision, you have to wonder if they expected the Sedge to turn around and try to lock the Cassio up into the Draven ulti, or if that was just for Vision to try to help Icy Warrior get away.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Meanwhile, though, bot lane is getting shoved under their tower. They do get a play out of it. Let's take a look right now. Hide My Coke is currently a solid 1,000 gold lead over his lane opponent. Really been bullying that Mordekaiser. 20 CS lead. Meanwhile, though, bot lane engage going on right now. They do slam down. Ultimate coming out. They're trying to trade back damage. Taco trying to get away, but they do flash forward and they do pick up the kill. Samira ult coming out for the double kill. That's going to be a difficult situation. Nike Dragon now 3-1 on this very snowbally champion.
And unfortunately, and notably for Taco, once again, the Draven stacks are thrown into the trash can as the team really not channeling the attention towards the Draven lane that it needs early on.
Yeah, Sejuani putting some good damage on Hecarim, even underneath his own tower, but he has Cassiopeia to back him up right now. He's able to get out of there. Draven ult canceled a little bit too soon. Really wasn't able to hit the back line. Bit of a little bit of misplay there on Taco, hitting that R a little bit too soon.
Also, notably, while the game is only about 1,000, 1,500 gold split right now, a large portion of the gold for Taco's Taco Truck is on this Sejuani. And
oh, Taco, though, making big plays onto Dead Teddy, dodging the knockup. Might have flashed forward a little bit too prematurely, as now he's in a very bad situation. Wasn't able to secure the kill. Looking to try and get it. Doesn't matter, though. He goes down. Leona now locked up. Kill is probably going to get, donated right on over to Nike Dragon. Another double kill, now 5-1 on that champion.
Starting to see the tilt take over a little bit on the side of Taco's Taco Truck. The Draven walking forward, desperately trying to cash in just 25 adoration stacks, but at this point, anything you can get is worth something to try to help you get back into this game, get back onto a point where you can start making an impact. But the Samira from Nike Dragon continuing to roll, getting absolutely massive, going 5-1-1 on this champion that really shouldn't have won the early game as well as they have.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a difficult situation right now with that 0-3 Draven. Hasn't been able to cash in the 5-1 Samira. And yeah, as you said, all of your gold is on your Sejuani mid lane. I don't know how well that's going to scale into the late game. I don't imagine it'll be great. Haidmakok looking to get really aggressive right now. Great job picking up that kill on Togepi under his tower. Now 0-4 against the 3-3 Riven. They do pick up the first turret for the Draven down bot lane. You know, that's going to help them out. Samira going and does get caught out by the Leona ult, but a little bit of anti-synergy as Taco actually saves Nike Dragon with his E, shoving him away from the follow-up Leona EQ.
Really unfortunate there. That would have been a huge gold infusion into the pocket of Taco. Also, worth noting, the more that I look at this comp from Taco
we have a big engage going on right now. Hecarim is here. There's the counter teleport coming on in. Doesn't matter though, because Taco's brought down under his own tower by the Hecarim. Mordekaiser looking to put down some damage. Does bring Nike Dragon into the fun zone. Is going to pick up that kill, but now he's 3v2. Getting brought down low, has to flash away. ACM14 says, I'm going to go in there anyways. Gets away from the tower, but doesn't matter because he's brought down. Sejuani whiffs her ultimate. Meanwhile, Cassiopeia puts down some good CC of her own, trying to get away from it. Doesn't matter, though, because Sejuani is just too tanky, too dashy. Dead Teddy now all on his own. Late TP coming out by Haidmakok, looking to see if he can cut into the situation. Is able to stun them up. Lots of damage going down. Picks up the Leona kill. Sees if he can try and get the Sejuani. Should be able to just dash away there. Meanwhile, though, the Vi comes in. Does dodge the Vi Q, but gets locked up. Getting stunned. Getting brought down. Trying to stay alive. Shield. There's the flash. No third Q necessary. Looking to dash. No tower there. Realizes that a bit too late. 1v1. About 300 HP. Really playing with fire with that Vi. Still looking to go. Chugging what pots she has. Taco dropped the ultimate. Not quite able to pick up a kill. Samira is there. Alright, it looks like they are resetting right now. We do have Dragon not spawning for another 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, notably Taco Truck getting some gold back, making some good plays to bring this game back into about 1,000 gold split, but unfortunately a lot of that gold going over to the Sejuani again. A couple of good big kills and shutdowns for the Mordekaiser to help that champion get back online, closing the gap between the Mordekaiser and the Riven. But the Riven picks up a kill, just extending her lead a little bit more. It's really unfortunate for Taco Truck that all of their gold is on the Sejuani, second highest gold player in the game. You have to wonder if they would have benefited from a champion in the jungle like a Kha'Zix or a Diana, somebody who can take the gold from the Sedge. The Sedge brings you all the setup. You just need somebody to take the gold and capitalize. And Vi's a good champion for that when she's not a little bit behind and maybe with a little bit different build. But right now, you got to wonder if Taco Truck isn't a little upset where
Hecarim
all their gold
going
is.
in the mid lane right there. Does manage to get the ultimate onto the bot lane. Forces that Leona back. A lot of damage, a lot of CC and abilities being used to lock up that Leona. That does get the kill. Not really sure if they'll be able to capitalize. And meanwhile, Reese once again fighting this Sejuani. Icy Warrior just really showing, those base damages that Sejuani has. Almost brings him down, but ultimately both just back off.
Admittedly, I misspoke. The Vi is the second highest gold person in the game at this point, but with a bit more of a tanky build, opting into the Divine Sunderer to start instead of the Eclipse or the Trinity Force that can be run on her.
Yeah, I'm going to take a second here and take a look at the gold myself. Still about 1,000 gold lead in favor of Revan. Although she's gotten a lot of solo kills on the Mordekaiser, Togepi's not fallen that far behind. He's managed to keep about this 1,000 gold differential there and not, get completely knocked out of the game. Jungle, a little bit, sizably in favor, actually, of the Vi, about 600 or 700 or so. Mid lane, dead even or so. The real difference we're seeing is in that bot lane, about 2,000 in favor of Nike Dragon. Once again, really ahead here, 6-2-2 against the 0-4 Draven. Leona throwing ult down onto the Rakan. Looks like he'll just be able to get away here. That's the second Leona ult in a row we've seen get thrown early, trying to make a pick and not land on anybody. They are in a good position to get this dragon as Mordekaiser is posing. Rakan does get grabbed by the Mordekaiser Fun Zone, able to prevent that Rakan ult. Meanwhile, though, dragon is secured, is actually stolen by the Vi. Ooh, there's so much going on right now. Hecarim does engage back on the Taco. They are bringing him low, is able to cash in on that. Meanwhile, the triple kill for the Nike Dragon gets huge, goes back in and secures the quadra kill, pentakill. Oh my god.
Shut down.
Whew.
A sloppy fight and sloppy positioning from Taco Truck there. Uncertain if they wanted to turn or finish the dragon. They continue to burn the dragon down as the Sejuani walks out of the pit, allowing the Vi to queue in and smite the dragon away, which gives the dragon over, which really not what they wanted to happen there. Or wait, I take it back. The Sejuani wasn't the jungler, the Vi is. So Taco Truck does pick up the dragon for themselves, but Nike Dragon, welcome to the Seal Penta Club, my friend. A sloppy fight turns into something where the Samira is able to start spinning like a top, flashes forward, makes a dash, gets the plays off, secures all of the kills, and a pentakill over to Nike Dragon, continuing his dominating run currently.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Nike Dragon's KDA is looking real impressive across the board. Racy looking to put down a lot of damage onto Togepi. Slow coming out a bit too late. I don't think he realized he had quite so much damage. And yeah, Free the Glove has to throw down ultimate just to disengage there.
Luckily for the side of Taco Truck, they do have the champions to slow down and stop a Samira ulti from causing too much trouble. Unfortunately for the side of Taco Truck, they now have a Samira who's 2,500 gold.
We have a 2v1 starting down here. ACM14 picking that fight with the Sejuani. Ultimate going down. Hide My Coke looking to put down what damage they can, but Utsy Warrior is pretty tanky. He has to flash away. Is looking to get out of there. Bird Turd did come on up. Ooh, good dash over the wall to avoid the Revan ultimate there. Togepi, meanwhile, getting chunked down by the Cassiopeia in the top lane. Racy still has, or Icy Warrior still has ultimate after all of that. I don't know if he held onto it during that fight or if it was still on cooldown.
Not entirely sure either. Notably, after the Frostfire Gauntlet, opting into the Force of Nature, and now a Warden's Mail, so we are going to see a full tank build out of this Sejuani. I'm not entirely sure that I agree with the Warden's Mail in lieu of something.
Oh, there's the Sejuani ultimate going down, freezing up this Riven. They are going to put down a lot of CC onto her, but Hecarim is there to join the fight late. It's turning into a 3v2. Riven taking a lot of damage from the Draven ultimate. Now Bird Turd has arrived. It's turned into a 3v3. Here comes Rakan to make it into a full-fledged team fight. Nike Dragon is brought down by Icy Warrior, who is still taking it out with the Riven. They do both go down. Meanwhile, though, Rakan is brought down by the arrival of the Mordekaiser. Togepi coming in to clean up the rest of the fight. Cassiopeia is still shoving top. All in all, 3 for 2 in favor of Taco Truck.
Really good fight for Taco Truck there, turning a little bit of a missed opportunity on the Riven into a team fight and able to shut down Nike Dragon. Nike Dragon coming forward and getting immediately stunned up by the Sejuani. The whirling doom that is Samira not able to go off at all in that fight.
Ooh, Togepi making a pick onto Risa right now. He has no mana, just brings him into the Mordekaiser Playhouse and picks up the free kill.
Just showcasing a little bit of what we were talking about, where Taco Truck does have the tools to stay in this game. They do have the tools to stop the Samira and to win team fights. They just have to get there and do it. The Sejuani opting into Randuin's Omen. This Sedge build is really interesting to me. I probably would have opted into the Thornmail here. I think you need healing reduction into the Riven, into the Samira, into the Hecarim, into the Rakan. I don't think that the extra slow from Dead Man's Plate on top of the slow from Frostfire Gauntlet on top of the speed up from the Force of Nature is absolutely necessary, but I can also understand where Sejuani's stickiness is her way to stun people and to get things done and trying to index further into that.
Yeah, but it looks like they are trying to set up a little pick right here. I mean, they are sussing them out with that red trinket. Lots of wards being traded over. Riven is on the backside here as Hecarim is looking to make that engage. Ultimate does come on in, forces the Draven to run forward into them as they get a big knockup. So there goes a huge quadra kill as Samira just cleans house.
Scumbag Hecarim stealing kills. No, he took that kill pretty early on. So notably, that's the Wombo combo that we were concerned about and talking about earlier. The minute that they get that Hecarim and Riven knockup onto multiple, the Samira makes it longer, and the ulti from Cassio comes over top, and the AoE damage from the side of Imagine Ocean just melts through the entirety of Taco Taco's Taco Truck in seconds. They cut down the entire team in about 4 seconds flat. Icy Warrior, the only one who took longer to die, but that's just because he was beefy. It wasn't that they turned back any damage. I don't think they got almost any damage off in that fight. They just got demolished by the pick.
Looking at it, there's only one ultimate on cooldown for the entire side of Taco Taco's truck, and that's just Sejuani's ult. Everybody else still has all their ults up. Most of the flashes are still available, or at least the bot lane's flashes are still available. So there really wasn't any opportunity. It was pretty much just that engage Hecarim ult, Rakan knockup, and just all the damage piled on top of that.
Yeah, it's getting to the point where if Imagine Ocean can pull the trigger at the right time, they're capable of burning down the entire team of Taco's Taco Truck before the Taco Truck is able to pull the trigger. This is the problem with two team comps that's goal is to just go forward. If you're on the team comp that's behind, you can't go forward and you can't disengage, and you find yourself in a poor situation.
Yeah, but looks like they are engaging onto this Hecarim underneath the tower. He does have to ult away, and he is able to get out of there. Meanwhile, Mordekaiser has brought Deadly Teddy into the playhouse, but it doesn't matter because Samira's brought down in the backline. Nobody to peel for. Deadly Teddy brought out after he survives the playhouse. Riven 1v1 in with Icy Warrior, getting some good damage traded onto her. Meanwhile, Reese now is the one called out. 3v1, getting stunned up, getting pulled around. ACM 14 fighting Taco does go down. The 1v1 up there. Reese did pick up the one kill, looking to try and trade it back onto the Mordekaiser, ignoring that Leona, getting stunned up though. Lots of damage being traded on over. Still alive, has the super minions helping her out, trying to put down the damage, picks up the triple kill in the 3v1. Hide My Coke and Icy Warrior are still going back and forth here. Icy Warrior playing around those gates, has to flash back after him. Reese 1v1 against Taco. There's the shield. Lots of damage being traded back and forth, but Reese comes out on top there. Meanwhile, Sejuani did get away from Hide My Coke. Wow, what a turn of events.
Alright, I left the fight with Reese mid to go check on what was going on top with the Hecarim and the Draven. I thought the Draven was going to lose the
Icy
Hecarim
Warrior,
as they
hang on a
ran
second
away.
though. Fighting with Sejuani does bring him down to half HP before dropping. But you were saying.
Yeah,
So
okay,
the fight mid.
I walked away from the fight mid because it looked like Reese was dead, and then it looked like the Hecarim got away from the Draven. Well, I look away from that, and I watch Reese killing 3 people in mid. Somehow they didn't kill the Cassio. And on the other side of the map, the Hecarim must have re-engaged back onto the Draven because the Hecarim falls. Not entirely sure what happened. I just think a little bit of fiesta was going on. And at the end of all of the fiesta, Taco's Taco Truck in a real rough spot, down an inhibitor and a base turret. And Imagine Ocean up about 10,000 gold, looking for the way to end this game.
Yeah, so, I mean, the mid lane, I definitely recommend, you catch it back for yourself when this goes live and everybody gets to watch that beautiful play. Racy was really just good target priority, good picks, focusing fire down onto each individual one at a time, was really able to just burn through all 3 of those people before Taco came in after the fight had concluded, and wasn't quite able to finish off what his teammates had started there.
Yeah, that was the part that I tuned back in for, was Reese picking up 1 kill and then the next one onto Taco. And I'm going to definitely have to go back and rewatch what happened in that fight, because 4 kills for Reese there. taking the Casio from irrelevant back to
Bird
really
in a very bad spot, has to flash away. Icy Warrior has to throw his ult to try and save him. It's not going to be enough. He's brought down. Meanwhile, Teddy in the back line there, keeping everybody busy. Hecarim has finally arrived to the fight, forcing the Leona back into the rest of his team. Double kill for Samir at the moment. Mordekaiser's now there. He's going to pick Hecarim to bring into the funhouse. Meanwhile, they're still chasing down the rest of his team. Dead Teddy picks up Taco, and they take down the Leona as well. And meanwhile, Togepi is able to survive for a minute longer before he's going to be brought out himself. Looking to trade it over to Deadly Teddy. Doesn't matter, though. Hide My Coke and Nike Dragon are going to end game number 2 for Imagine Ocean.
Well, Reese, looking like he was going to have a couple of rough games, manages to redeem himself on the Casio, but going 6-0 in a division not his own, featuring in 6 games to start off the season in Piltover while playing down on a Demacian team.
Yeah, absolutely. What a turn of events that game was. I think, I just have to talk about Nike Dragon on these aggressive AD carries. His stat line is absolutely insane if we were to take a look at it across all 4 games we've seen of him so far. So many kills, so few deaths, he's playing them beautifully.
Nike Dragon looking absolutely unparalleled currently in Piltover. With the current state of the game being so AD carry and bot lane focused, I think that Imagine Ocean is making a very good early case for themselves that unless the game meta shifts in the near future, they're going to be very strong competitors for this Piltover championship. And it's going to be heavily off of the back of how well Nike Dragon has been playing. Now, Smurf DePerb played really well for them prior, and they're going to benefit from getting him back. Reese holding down the fort today, looking better in the second game than the first, but I'm astonished at how well Nike Dragon is playing for Imagine Ocean. Is the clear MVP for this series.
Yep, and I have to also give credit. Hide My Coke on Riven, phenomenal play. Was able to really win that top lane matchup very handily. I would like to see a bit more done with that. We talked about a little bit in the mid game where he was still only had about 1,000 gold lead or so over Mordekaiser, despite having killed him solo like 3 or 4 times at that point. But also big props to ACM14, really just enabling his team in all 4 games that we've seen him play so far. He's working very well in this whole roster as this bedrock foundation for them, enabling his mid laners, enabling his carries to get going, donating these kills to the people that he needs to donate the kills to.
Absolutely. Having casted and seen 6 of the teams thus far in this division, Imagine Ocean is my early favorite to run the division because I think that they do what they do so well, and we haven't seen their entire team together yet, right?
That's true. They've had a sub each time.
Yeah, we've seen Reese sub in for Dead Teddy at support, and then we've seen Reese sub in for Smurf DePerb at mid. And I have to say, I think in both cases, not that Reese hasn't played well, but the person he's replacing has been arguably the second best player on their team in both games. Dead Teddy absolutely showing up well for himself. And you can credit Nike Dragon all you want for how well his support has looked, but the Galio game, really, really strong plays made. A little bit shakier on the recon, but still having an excellent game. And Smurf DePerb was the runner-up for MVP for this team last week. And so you got to worry if you're looking at Imagine Ocean and you're trying to figure out how to play against them when they've got their full roster, you've got your work cut out for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking back over at Takataka's Taco Truck, what do you think they did well? What do you think they could improve on going forward?
I think that their mid laner is a rock and a rock star at the same time. Icy Warrior absolutely playing out of his mind, trying to keep his team in both games, doing a really excellent job on 2 very different styles of champion in the Zeri and the Sejuani. Really, really showing up well for himself. I think that as far as the rest of the team goes, it's difficult to speak to. Bird Turd with some good pathing at some moments and a little bit of questionable decisions and uncertainty at others. Maybe a little bit of uncertainty how to execute with the team. I'm not sure if this lane swap between Taco Taco and Togepi is something that they've practiced before or done regularly. Togepi off to a rough start in the lane, but came on well, did pretty well on the Mordekaiser.
Definitely some strong ult picks from him in the mid and late game. Like that one of those last fights down in bot lane was able to grab Rakan and stop him from ulting and engage on the rest of his team. Didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. The rest of Imagine Ocean still ran over the rest of his team, but it was a good play nonetheless.
Absolutely. Really came back from a rough start to be probably the most dangerous member of his team at the end of that second game. In bot lane, I think that Taco Truck's got to figure out what they're doing. The Leona pick doesn't seem to be working for them. And now, if that's just because it's into Imagine Ocean, who also likes to draft aggressive lanes and is able to beat them in them, that's something to consider and work out when you have to face them again. But if it's just that they don't quite know how to handle this lane or who they want in it, I think that that's something that they've got to sort out moving forward. I think that they have to figure out if they want Taco in the ADC position or Togepi in the ADC position, because I think it's going to be a bit of a problem for them as both Taco and Togepi performed better in top lane. I think that they both arguably were their team's second best player in the top lane, but when you put them down in the ADC position, they're getting absolutely run over by Nike Dragon. And now, if that's just because Nike Dragon's making a case for being the MVP for Piltover, we'll see as the season continues. But if it's also just because they haven't had enough time to work together as a team and figure out how it's going to work, or if they need to get Free the Glove off of that Leona and onto something else, I don't know. Those are my questions for Taco's Taco Truck moving forward.
Those are great questions. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for us here with week number 2 of Piltover. Thank you all for coming in and tuning into our stream. And we'll be back here in week number 3.
Have a good night, y'all.